Bonding with nature takes on a whole new meaning when creepy stuff like this happens.
It's extremely rare to see that anywhere. Oh, God.
No, just grab it.
A midday hike turns terrifying when a bat snuggles up in Mom's hair. Anderton Explorer caught the entire creature sighting on camera. Now they have to figure out how to get it untangled. Snapping their fingers to scare it off is a good idea, but the bat doesn't seem to care much. It spreads its wings, turns around, and marches towards her face. The mom is getting really scared, and who wouldn't be when a bat is about ready to crawl up next to your ear? They have to save her. Would you be brave enough to do the same?
Will you hold still? Hey, God.
The bat is off of her, but it stays near all their possessions. It's dazed, not moving at all, and then suddenly it flies up in her daughter's face and almost gets in her hair next. Something almost has to be wrong with it. This isn't normal behavior at all. Think about it. A nocturnal creature sighting in broad daylight is a bad sign. An animal that is normally afraid of humans landing directly on one is even worse. The bat might have had rabies. If so, it was probably trying to get at her, but couldn't find its way through her hair. So with that in mind, this video becomes even scarier when you realize it could have been unknowingly poking for nearly 3 minutes straight at a bat that could potentially have rabies. The whole family was treating it like a joke, when in reality they could have gotten a serious case. In their defense, they do say in the comments that they saw the bat fly back into its cave, though how exactly that makes it any less likely to have rabies or not is something I don't understand. Tiffany of the YouTube channel called Beauty and the Beastins is making a home vlog when she turns the corner and passes something terrifying that she won't even notice until editing days later.
And two, he was bringing in like all.
This all black outline looks to be about half her size and barely human. It's facing away, and its bald head is hunched over a wide cloak that extends to the floor. I was thinking this could be a hat rack or something, except it appears to be in the bathroom, and I can see one of its long, gnarled hands poking out of an oversized sleeve. Judging from this video, I think this is either something paranormal, or else a home intruder unlike any I have ever seen before. If I saw movement of any kind, I would have no doubt that this was real. Since the figure seems to stand completely still though, I will admit that I have my doubts. But more importantly, what do you think this is? A paranormal investigator from India named Deep Tea Vlog and her ghost hunting crew go exploring what in their words is one of the most haunted places in all of Madhya Pradesh. It's a long trek through some scary woods just to get there, and they are also quite sure some creepy things will be caught on camera before the night is through. In the distance, they see a figure walking slowly off the beaten path, and then it just sort of mysteriously disappears into the darkness. All of them run much faster than the figure was moving, but when they get to where they had just had the ghost sighting, they find an empty clearing and nothing more. Humanoids apparently come in all different sizes. The one in this video is mistakenly labeled as a goblin, though it looks completely human except for its height. The supposed goblin in this video is shorter than 1 brick tall. It peeks around from behind a wall and quickly disappears once it sees the camera. The camera follows it to the other side of the wall and finds a tiny hole that the humanoid must have escaped into. If it wasn't for the video, this supposed goblin would not have left a trace behind. Published in July of 2020, the Urban Ghosts Urban Exploration team took the Randonautica app on a wild ride intended to lead them into places unknown. But somehow, for this team, the random destination was all too familiar. The app wound up taking them to a haunted cemetery that they'd explored 2 years prior. Joe explains that this is a bike park winding back into a cemetery deep into some heavy woods. During their last visit, they'd been scared out of it by what they thought was a bear. At one point, while looking at a grave in the fenced-in cemetery,
these are so old. You can kind of make it out.
Whispering is heard in the background. All of Patty's batteries, which were fully charged, are now completely empty. When they fire up the spirit box, the spirit immediately says the name Joe. When asked if there's something they're supposed to find here, the spirit answers, "Near you." Joe feels like they're being watched. They keep hearing a man's voice coming from all directions. Rob, who's taking still images, also captures strange mists that appear in only some photographs. But the scariest find the team discovers in this haunted cemetery is a jewelry box on the ground. After misplacing it, they speak to the spirits through the spirit box again to see what's become of it. The spirit says Curtis.
It said Kurt. What did the box say again?
Later, they happen upon the carved jewelry box, which has somehow been placed ahead of them on the path, and find the inscription Curtis carved into it. Who is Curtis and what's in the box? These questions are going to keep me up all night. This list is probably making you feel you're as unsafe inside your home as you are outside of it. This entry is no exception. Posted by Borgberger, this video captures a man who is trying to film inside his neighbor's home. Apparently, the neighbor had been filming inside their home for weeks. The homeowner's girlfriend said that the man often approached her when she was collecting post, and she felt he was creepy. He once offered that if there was anything he could do for her, just let him know. The video shows the man in his own home entering a room across from theirs. According to the video, he picks up his camera, which had been charging, positions himself on the floor out of sight, then starts recording from a corner of the window. You can actually see the red light from his video camera appear in the darkness. He peers over the windowsill to see that no one sees him. Then he resumes recording. He is again seen more clearly, standing up to look out the window. Then he ducks back down to resume his peeping position. The man filming or photographing goes on for a solid 2 minutes, and probably longer, because this clip seems to have been cut before the man finishes. The clip also shows the man being taken to the station by police. The homeowner said his girlfriend felt incredibly upset as her privacy had been violated. Who wouldn't? Considering her intuition about this man, this just goes to show that you should always trust your gut. A search of official reports of this invasion of privacy could not be found, so it's unclear whether or not this situation ended in charges being pressed against the culprit. Whatever the case, this one will make you pull your shutters closed and lock them tight. I've analyzed some of Lainey and Ben's footage in previous videos, and I'm completely convinced that their home is 100% haunted. Here's yet another video to prove it. Published in November of 2021, the couple is attempting to use an EMF meter to talk to a spirit named Dave, who hangs around their home. Well, usually you'd expect for the meter to go off. That's apparently not the way Dave communicates. Instead, as the couple encourages Dave to communicate with them, setting the meter upright on the table in front of them, the meter is knocked over, causing them both to jump in shock. You might assume that it just fell over, but when you look closely, it certainly appears as though it was thrown down by a malevolent force. Something tells me Dave is the strong, silent type. Well, inside this haunted house, these ghost hunters are lured into the forest. Published by Lomar Mendez in October of 2021, the pair consider whether or not something is in the house with them, and as they explore the house, they hear something.
The house is probably creaking.
Their camera's light appears to be malfunctioning, and soon they become positive that someone else is here.
Someone's here, someone's here, someone's here, someone's here.
As they wait in fear, they hear a strange noise from the next room, and then they see the figure. They take this as their cue to leave. While they do escape the house without incident, they're being followed, but the big reveal is yet to come. Well, this is a pretty messed up thing for a dad to do. These two should look on the bright side. This could have ended so much worse. This footage was taken at the Chapelfield Mall in Norwich, UK. The mall is closed when a mysterious red balloon makes an appearance out of nowhere. As you watch this balloon float around on its own, keep in mind that the air conditioning was off, the escalator was off, and there is supposedly no wind blowing in from the outside. If all of this is true, then how exactly did the balloon move without any air currents? Even more bizarre is how the balloon stays low to the ground the entire time, almost at the height of a child. Could this balloon simply be half deflated, or is it being held by a youthful spirit? Larry Glow has a haunted home that keeps him on edge at all times. He records down the hallway because a ghost is down there. He's sure of it. I'm not sure what he is saying and need your help to fully understand.
Lo que está pasando. Yo sé que yo escuché algo por aquí. Esto está jodón, esta vaina aquí.
He hears a loud noise from behind as the ghost walks past and touches a light. The living room is where he experiences the most paranormal activity, so there's already a second camera all set up. Here is the same scary moment from a different angle. As you can see, he hears a bang, turns around, and that's when this stuffed animal gets possessed. Is someone pulling strings off camera, or are these objects moving on their own? This video was taken in Akron, Ohio by two teenagers while driving past a cemetery on their work break.
She's getting down there, man. She is getting down there, man. Super weird.
A ghoulish, dark figure is surrounded by fresh dirt, as it apparently is digging up something in the cemetery, possibly its next meal. The stunned friends stop to watch it for a while longer before driving off and uploading the video later. They have no idea what it could be, and neither do I. I was also unable to find any news stories of grave disturbances in Akron, further making me believe this may not have happened. Then again, maybe this incident was buried by the local authorities for whatever reason. Either way, let me know if you think these friends really saw something, or if they are part of an internet hoax. When this early riser arrived at work at 6 a.m., she didn't expect to find her first customer waiting. Posted to TikTok by The Blaze Beauty, the worker exits the kitchen and enters the cafe area, revealing a figure standing just outside the front window. She walks toward it. At first, you can't tell if the figure is facing away from or toward the window, but as she steps closer, it looks like the figure is facing toward it, though you cannot see its face. The figure then slams the window with one gloved hand. What is this thing?
Bro. What? Oh, girl. Oh my.
And what does it even want? Many in the comments are shocked that she even approached. Others think he's harmless and just wants a burger. What do you think? It's the window slam that makes me feel like their intentions are nefarious. While exploring the Mount Morris Mystery House, YouTubers Spirit Walk Paranormal tried to unlock the mystery. As one of the crew is explaining about the strange happenings in the house, something strange occurs right in front of them.
Second girl disappeared completely. The second girl disappeared completely.
And then another one.
While I'm talking to the guys, a strange anomaly appears in the top left corner of the frame and moves right in a strange manner. I don't think this is an insect because of the transparency, and dust normally shows up in a sphere-like shape, but I cannot claim this as paranormal.
I'd say that was probably dust, but some things are harder to explain, and more strange noises are heard.
Can you touch this, please?
The spirits apparently want to imprison them. Maybe so that they will have someone to talk to. What does this spirit want? It wants its presence to be known.
Here. There you are. Are you on my back right now? Can you get off? Can you get off, please?
But it also seems to be guiding them to something or to someone.
Can you come into this room?
Or maybe it's warning them.
Are you trying to get our attention to the attic?
Although some of these EVPs are a bit of a stretch, I think, others seem very distinct, I do think something is trying to communicate with the paranormal team in Mount Moore's mystery house, but who or for what reason is anyone's guess. When you visit an abandoned hospital, you don't expect this to happen. Redditor Bored Guy Online posted this scary video evidence that he captured in the ICU. Keep an eye at the end of the hall to the right. Something mysterious is going on here. Being that all hospitals are likely haunted, maybe these doors aren't malfunctioning after all. If that's the case though, who is opening and closing this ICU door? He can see us, but we can't see him. I think it's time to leave this abandoned hospital and stay far away. You wouldn't want anything following you home now. On their last walk of the day, Redditor Gaddin420 and his dog heard something chilling in the woods. Listen closely. Let's hear it again. Many in the comments think it's a fox, others think it's a vixen, which according to one Redditor, sounds like someone having their life ended. After listening to recordings of fox screams, I'd have to agree, that is what a fox says. Prison. These prisoners are locked up for life and the afterlife. YouTube team Explore a Lot explores the UK's most haunted prison. Listen quietly, they hear a distant whistle.
No, it didn't. What the was that?
Shortly after, while doing the Estes method, you can hear a whisper of a response. Listen closely.
Did you die in this room?
A quiet voice says yeah. It sounds to me like the immortal prisoners here are on lockdown for eternity. Number 7. This video comes from a YouTuber named Mike Robbins and his team of paranormal investigators. They are using a modified Kinect camera and special software to hunt ghosts while wandering around the basement of an old abandoned asylum when suddenly their equipment detects a major hit.
Can you come back and talk to us? Oh, there he is. Hi, buddy.
Mike asks the ghost for its name, how long it's lived here, if it likes living here, and other questions, but gets no response. The spirit does not seem to want to cooperate.
Oh, now he's waving. Thank you. Or maybe he's telling us to go. I don't know.
It's hard to tell if the ghost is waving at them or shooing them away. If this is an insane asylum, then maybe this ghost just wants to be left alone. Then again, there's no real way to verify if the equipment really does work, so we'll never know for sure. Would you be able to sleep after seeing this? This video is a re-upload shared by YouTuber Randy Stover. I was unable to track down the original source. At first, the person looks as though they were perhaps jolted awake from a nightmare. Then this happens. Something apparently paranormal is lifting them by their feet from the bed. Is this just some crazy abnormal gravitational pull? Or has something demonic entered the scene? I think this is a true case of paranormal activity. Fishing line would tear painfully into the ankles, so I don't see any other explanation for this one. Hungry for a midnight snack? This video will get you over your nighttime hunger. Published to YouTube in August of 2020, Paranormal Nightmares explains, my husband got up to grab a bowl of cereal, and we had the security cam recording in our kitchen because earlier in the day a cupboard opened on its own. We decided to record overnight, but this happened and it scared him. In the video, the dude is nonchalantly making himself a bowl of cereal as mentioned, but when he goes to grab the milk from the fridge, the cereal box moves clear across the counter on its own. Surprised, the man brushes it off, but as he pours his milk, the box moves slightly, and when he returns to the fridge, it slides clear across the counter again, finally falling to the floor. Needless to say, this guy takes this as his cue to book it out of the kitchen. Many YouTubers advise this poor haunted couple to move, while others are more worried about whether or not the guy eventually got his cereal, because you know, priorities. Is this the floating soul of a departed one? Published by Frankly2112 in October of 2008, a ghost hunting crew encountered a strange floating orb while wandering through a cemetery at night. The light glows brightly at the center of what appears to be a semi-transparent figure. Then again, the apparent figure could just be the extension of the light's rays. As the cameraman pans away and back again, the beam moves quickly out of frame and out of sight. YouTuber Price Paranormal writes, it almost seems elemental or interdimensional. Others note that the light seems to materialize there, and that it appears like someone holding fire in their hands. What do you think this is? Are the spirits alive in this graveyard? I'd be staying far away from this place. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.